So Peter P Square has released another letter for his twin brother Paul Okoye, because una know say get the time wey dey come dey talk say P Square arrested the brother with EFCC. So now Peter don come out to clarify the air on the reason wey make am arrest his brother Paul with EFCC. Before I tell you the whole story, here is what I need you all to understand. It's always surprising to me when people say P Square is always bringing their family matter into the public eyes. Let me clarify this. P Square is not just a family, it's a public brand. But Peter, Paul, Jude, Anita, Ifeoma, Laura, and the rest of our family members are family. But P Square is an entity that belongs to the public as much as it does belongs to us. Our fans have played a significant role in our success, so they have the right to know what's happening with their beloved brand P Square. That is why it's understandable when certain aspects of our lives are shared publicly. Now, let's get straight to the point. I want to make it clear that I never reported my twin brother Paul to the EFCC. I know many of you were disappointed when Paul accused me of doing so. He mentioned that I wrote a petition against him, which he claimed. Peter, Paul, and Jude own a management company together called North Shield Entertainment, which we use to manage all of P Square's affairs. One day I discovered another company with a similar name, but this one was called Northside Music instead of Northside Entertainment. This surprised me, so I decided to investigate further, and guess what? To my shock, the founder and director of this secret company were none other than Jude Okoye and his wife Ifeoma Okoye, and the registered address was the family home of Jude's wife. Still in shock, I knew I had to talk to Paul about it. I approached him multiple times, at least 4 different times, asking if he knew anything about this secret company and the whereabouts of some of P Square's royalties. Each time I met with him, he denied knowing anything about it. I want to set the record straight. I hereby challenge Paul or anyone else to show any petition that I, Peter Okoye, ever submitted against my twin brother Paul, or that has Paul's name on it. I am still writing this with so much shock because I gave clear instructions to my legal team with a standing order that under no circumstance should Paul be included in my petition. Their focus was to remain solely on the primary suspect, but Jude Okoye and his wife Ifeoma Okoye, since they were the directors of this secret company, Northside Music. Paul's recent interview about the EFCC incident contains a lot of lies. I watched and listened to Paul's interview. I was totally speechless, and I kept asking myself, how does Paul have the audacity to publicly tell lies like this, even with a respected and reputable agency like the EFCC? He claimed I petitioned him, but that's not something that ever happened to Paul. The truth is, this was something that actually happened to Jude. The real story goes back to the shocking discovery I made, but what really got me upset was finding out that for years, millions of dollars and hundreds of millions of naira were being secretly diverted into this secret company's account, Northside Music, from our own company, Northside Entertainment. This was not just a minor issue, it was a massive betrayal and had been going on for several years. I understand that Paul is angry because I took this matter to the EFCC, and I understand why. However, bearing in mind that I have met Paul and Jude separately and tried to discuss this matter, and it yielded me with no positive answer. In fact, the last time I approached Paul, the conversation got heated up and he said, and I quote, "Peter, go and do your worst." At this stage, I was left with no other choice but to report to the authorities that take legal actions. Jude was then detained. After being questioned, he came clean and admitted he had been diverting millions of dollars of our money to this secret company that he and his wife were the director of. All of Jude's bank accounts were immediately frozen. He was eventually released on bail after he managed to provide a surety and he met other bail conditions. Meanwhile, further investigations are still going on up until now. Unless there is something he is hiding from all of us. Paul's name was never mentioned in this petition because he was never a director of this secret company. Unless there is something he is hiding from all of us. Paul was never invited for questioning, just like Jason Njoku of Iroko TV, Amaju Pinnick, and others who had transactions dealing with Northside Music. The EFCC investigation found out that Northside Music had been secretly collecting P-Square's royalty. Over the years, this royalty money were sent to a bureau de change, then transferred to Jude's personal bank account. A close look at Jude's account statements revealed that once the money entered his personal account, there were multiple transactions where he was splitting the funds equally with Paul. Without Peter, this naturally led to some questions. After Jude confessed to diverting the funds, he also told the EFCC that the money he had been sending to Paul for several years wasn't about sharing money behind Peter's back. Instead, it was money he owed Paul from the sale of their house in America, which he was gradually paying back to the loan. This is the reason why Paul has been telling everyone that the EFCC has cleared him, as if I ever wanted him to get into trouble with the EFCC. The story is long, but I will tell it all in due time. For now, I will stop here until the EFCC sends the final report to my legal team. Once that happens, before heading to the law court, I will make the exact petition that doesn't include Paul's name publicly. I will also release the EFCC final report, records and documents related to the secret company, including the CAC registration, bank transfer, and bank statement that Jude set up with his wife, Ifeoma Okoye. May God help us all. Now, wow, may God help una. May God help una because una really need God's help. Like this one don't too much.